in the fam. All in the fam. Come on. It's all in the fam. All in the fam. Come on. Now get your hands up. 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 It's all in the fam.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fam Fridays. It's your girl, Brianna Cherie, host of All in the Fam, the certified fresh, all-inclusive, unfiltered podcast. So, on today's episode, we have a special guest, my good friend, David Godson, and we're going to be talking about Christianity in the Black community. And also going to be talking, yes, again, because it's relevant and things are still happening, we're going to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. So, just to recap, Season 2 is finally aired. The podcast has finally aired on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So you can go ahead and catch Episode 1. Episode 2 is coming out next Wednesday. Every other Wednesday is going to be an episode. And then every other Wednesday between the episodes will be video segments as well. So make sure you tune into those. Go to YouTube. The link is in the bio. Subscribe. Our goal is to reach 1,000 by the end of the summer. So make sure you share and subscribe to us. All right. Awesome. So, quick disclaimer. So, All in the Fam, our logo, our slogan, all inclusive. So, the guests on this podcast are going to be of many walks of life. We have Blacks, Whites, Asians, Latinx, Middle Eastern, Christian, Muslim, people who don't have a religion, Democrats, and yes, Republicans, and people who are like, fuck the government. Like, anybody on this podcast is welcome, and any viewers who identify or don't identify are welcome to listen, okay? All in the Fam is inclusive to all, okay? So, again, this current episode, we're going to be talking about faith, religion, Christianity with my good friend, David Godson. So, I want to go ahead and add him to the chat, and we can get started. What's good?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Well, introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, wow. So yeah, my name is David Godson. I am my last semester at URI. Finally, man. You know the days over at COD when we was out there struggling. Yeah, did my fair share of time there. Now, like I said, I have one semester left at U of I, and I will have my bachelor's degree in actuarial science. So I feel like I'm introducing myself in like a professional way.
Can you let the people know what actuarial science is? Because I remember at COD when you first told me what that major was, I'm like, so you're gonna be like doing farm shit? Like, agricultural and
no, you're good.
Actuarial
not agriculture. Yeah, you're actuarial. So like I work like insurance. So yeah, a little bit boring, but yeah, a lot of statistics and probability. I'm much more of like a numbers person. So like you were saying, talking about disclaimers, let me just say I am not like a public speaker or anything. Like I do numbers, okay? So, but I'm gonna do my best to try and speak my mind as best as I can. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So we met in Crew. So those of you who don't know what Crew is, Crew on a lot of college campuses is what?
I did not go to Crew. I went to the parties at Q. All
right, fine. But I did kind of meet you through Crew though. Because the people in Crew introduced me to you, so.
Okay. Well,
Anyway. All right. I met this fool at a cafeteria. At the cafeteria at COD it was during Black History Month, and then it was like, what was it? Oh yeah, they had like all that Jamaican food going on, and the dancing.
Represented. We was out there, man.
Yep. I met you that day, and we started dancing and clicking just like that. You became my friend instantly.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like going back to Crew on a lot of college campuses is a Christian organization club, and me and David, a lot of our mutual friends were in that club. And that's how we kind of connected and, kindled our relationship with those friends, with each other, and with God. So, first question, how are you right now with everything going on, keeping your faith?
Um, hmm, um, to be honest, the actual keeping the faith part, I mean, my faith is much more than just what my parents have like taught me. It's like something I believe actually, So I mean, in terms of like keeping my faith, I feel like I'm okay with that. What gets to me is when I think about history, you know what I'm saying? Like what we're seeing now is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been seeing this, our parents were fighting this, you know what I'm saying? Their parents, and for me, what really stands out to me is the reaction from the church, right? Largely the church, and even in the States, is white. It's run by white people, you know what I'm saying? So like seeing how they've responded to things is, to me, again, I don't see a new response. I feel like a lot of like churches, the reaction to everything going on is like, oh, let's just pray about it, and like, hey, I believe in the power of prayer, right? But I also believe in like getting up and doing something too, fighting for things, So I mean, from that perspective, it's definitely been tough. I'll definitely say it's been tough. Oddly enough, I like don't really write music or anything. Like I said, I'm not really a words person. But with all this going on, I actually did write a song. But yeah, it's kind of how I've been handling it through music. The other big thing was I had a lot of anger. I would say I did have a lot of anger because like seeing people when I see George Floyd, a dark skinned black dude, with some white guy's, what's it called, knee on his neck, I see myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I see my dad, I see my brothers, you know what I'm saying? I see my friends, So like it kind of weighs on you, But what kind of brought me out of that I guess space of anger was like an action plan. Like how do we move from this? How do we move out of this? So that's kind of how I've been trying to deal with it. Is again, like I said, music as well as like how do we get past this? So I'm more of an action person. So, but yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you were angry. So being grounded in faith, you think that, I don't know, kind of suppresses that and puts you in check at times to put a check in your anger just to have that faith? Because a lot of people let their anger get the best of them.
True.
And they put their faith in the back burner.
I feel that. No, honestly, for one thing, I want to say is I don't believe that anger in and of itself is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, anger can be, it can easily be turned into rage. Where you just do any old thing, just to like get the energy out. That's what anger really is. It's a bunch of energy, right? So what I've found most beneficial when I'm angry is to harness that to bring forth change. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like, first of all, I feel like everyone's talked about, like, oh, Jesus got angry, and that one story where he flipped over a table, Yeah. But, like, even more recent times, Martin Luther King, the dude was angry. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just like, oh, man, they're killing my people, man. They don't understand. Oh, man, what am I going to do about that, No, this dude was angry, you know what I'm saying? But he did something. You know what I'm saying? He channeled his anger to bring forth change. So no, I don't feel as if I have to suppress my anger. Like I have to do like either I'm going to be angry or I'm going to like, be Christian or whatever. Because I don't believe Christians have to just like, oh, whatever, just turn the other cheek or whatever. I'm like, hey, man, you mess with my people, man. We're about to go. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's what I think.
So I know it's pretty general, but what does it mean to be Christian to you?
What does it mean to be Christian? Man, again, I am not a pastor, okay? I am a college student, okay? So, bless. Sorry, that was bad. Let me not do that. What does it mean to be Christian? Well, I mean, from a biblical standpoint, you get to believe in your, I always get this wrong, believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is the Christ and that he was raised from the dead, and you'll be saved. So I feel like that's like the foundation, of Christianity. It's not like what church you go to, what songs you sing, what language you speak, what color you are, you know what I'm saying, what culture you come from. That has nothing to do with it. That's what I think. But yeah, so.
Awesome. And obviously, you and I growing up in Wheaton, very Christian town, Bible Belt town. And I know you were homeschooled, so you didn't really get out the house much. But
okay.
Okay. So I definitely see differences between, and there shouldn't be differences, but there's definitely differences between Black Christians and like the white Christians that we grew up with in Wheaton.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like Black Christians are more honed to their faith because they are, we've been oppressed for so many centuries, and we use that as guidance to get out. And then, I've been to some white churches where their theology is a little bit different and their perspective is different. And I feel like it shouldn't be, but I do feel like race does impact your viewpoint on your religion. Do you have like any thoughts about that? Like, what is it? How is it being a Black Christian from your perspective? Loaded question.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, one thing I kind of want to, I guess, draw a distinction between. First of all, you said that Wheaton is very Christian. It's very white. Okay, I definitely want to draw a distinction between Christianity and white. That's actually something I'm really, really passionate about. Is for a long time, Christianity has been associated with white culture. Like case in point, like when people think of Christian music, what do they think of? People think of like K-Love, Bethel,
Hillsong.
Hillsong, you know what I'm saying? And then they call like Christian music that's still glorifying the same God, they give it a whole separate category as gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like Hillsong or Kirk Franklin is both Christian music. You know what I'm saying? Right. Why do we get that separate, there's Christian music and there's the Black people, what they do. It's, gospel music, So, I mean, yeah, I think for too long there's been, people kind of been like, how do you say, they're not the same thing. They don't go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes I feel like I'm pressured to give up my culture as a Black Christian. You know what I'm saying? And as I've gotten older, I've grown to be a lot more bold about it. I'm like, man, that's not how I worship. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I love dancing, okay? And I'm not talking about nobody, but like certain churches, okay, with a certain level of pigmentation, okay, tend to like not necessarily be, you know what I'm saying? They don't be you know what I'm saying? They
don't have the Black church experience, with the auntie in the back getting the Holy Ghost and
there you go.
Uncle dancing in the aisles.
Yes.
First of all, let me just tell you, the one thing I miss about Black church is the long praise and worship.
Yes.
Praise and worship, y'all. Praise and worship at Black churches are 3 hours long.
Yes.
3 hours, with probably an intermission in between.
Oh, and don't forget about the altar call at the end. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to come.
Yep.
Oh, man. No, you're right. Oh, man. But I missed that. I right now, well, actually on campus, I've been blessed, man. I first of all, I go to like hella different churches, whatever. But no, I've really loved it. I've been going to this Nigerian church, which is really, really dope. I love dancing, so that was like perfect for me. I go to like a mixed church as well, and then what else have I been doing? So I'm reading the comments down below.
I know.
You're right. Oh man, but no, man, I completely lost my train of thought when I saw the comment. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Man, I forgot. I'm so off track because we got reminiscing about Black church and praise and worship.
I feel that. I feel that.
You're
Well,
saying that you like to dance and you don't like holding back how you worship and how you
exactly the whole
praise.
cultural aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I like for me, one thing that really pains me about a lot of churches, and I feel like especially churches that claim to be mixed churches, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if they're making that claim that you're quote unquote diverse, you know, I feel like you have a responsibility to actually be diverse. And I feel like I'm not really asking for that much, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of like the culture that you push, you know, if you have a diverse church, however, all of your leadership is one culture, I'm sorry, my friend. You have blackface. Okay, you have Indian face. You have whatever else Latino. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not really you're just like putting people up to like say that oh yeah we're diverse to get brownie points, but you're not really promoting a diverse culture or
Right.
outlook on Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Like I just described, people from different cultures worship differently. They see God differently. You know what I'm saying? And again, you really did ask a loaded question because I have a lot to say about that. But for me, like again, if you're a real Christian, like you're really about this, I am as well. Like you want to see the most amount of people saved. You want to see the most amount of people converted to Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And experience the love of God. Because I mean, if I'm being honest, it's really dope. You know what I'm saying? From my own personal experience. So, I mean, for me, when I see a lot of these mixed churches that are promoting nothing but a white culture, I try and bring in people that are like me and come from my cultural background, and they shun it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I don't want to feel like I have to give up my culture. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I yeah, what is it like being black and Christian, man? That's especially in mixed churches, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I feel like I have to fight for my culture. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
And I
yeah,
mean it's also some backlash being a Black Christian from the Black community too, because a lot of
oh yeah,
there's Black people that are like, oh, that's the white man's religion.
yeah, yeah,
Like they taught the slaves that.
man.
Um,
About that, that's kind of what I was getting at is that they shun it, because like you said, it's Christianity, and this is something I'm doing my best to like combat and just destroy the narrative, that Christianity is a white religion.
mhm.
It's not. Christianity has been manipulated and abused by white people.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah,
Say it louder
right.
for the people in the back pews, please. In the back pews, say it
Christianity
louder.
has been manipulated and abused by white people to then manipulate and abuse black people, right? However, like I said, they're manipulating, they're changing it, to fit their narrative. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like that's one reason why I've gotten a lot of healing being in a. So I grew up going to like a lot of different types of churches, but that was
Yeah.
one that was really cool. Like I'm got a chance to experience churches from a lot of different cultures. But one thing that's been really healing being in like predominantly all black space, like from the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Is oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Combating the lies that have been told. Like how white people were created to be like the masters of black people and stuff like that. I'm like, boy, like, don't start that
Right.
with me. Don't start
Right.
that with me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that is something that man, to this day, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen in the church. In terms of cultural relations. Because I mean, it doesn't disappear. Just because you don't talk about it doesn't mean it's gone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And like the scab is almost like ripped off whenever stuff like this happens. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Ahmaud Arbery, all those people like that. It's like it just rips off the scab and it's still there. It's still very
Right.
pressing. You know.
And
So
they just want to pray about it and
yeah,
not actually go forth about it. And here's like some misconceptions that I've just come across with Christianity in general. There are too many Christians who are so vocal about mission trips and making disciples of the world and going to Africa and
yep.
sending, their youth to go build
Bible
houses
camps.
and provide water for, all the African children. And, they take all
Yeah,
these pretty pictures with the African kids just to show that, hey, I'm doing good for the world. But when they come back to America and Black people in America are suffering, oh, they want to be silent. So, like, what is it, Christians? Like, do you love everybody, or do you only love everybody when it's convenient for your image? You know, that's not a question for you. That's just something that I've come across. And another misconception. I don't even know if it's a misconception, but like, I just want to call people out. White Christians. Let me tell you something real quick, okay? Jesus was not Republican. He was not Democrat. He wasn't white.
Thank you. He was not
German. He didn't have blonde hair. I ain't finished.
Yeah.
He didn't have blonde hair, okay? And he damn sure, sorry I'm cursing, he damn sure did not anoint Trump to become president, okay? Jesus was not an American white male. He was a Middle Eastern brown dude with long hair. If Jesus was alive today, he would look like the immigrants that a lot of these white Christians would hate.
Do not like. Facts. Big facts.
That's all I gotta say right there.
Yeah.
And
no, you're right.
Jesus loves everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus was not for racism. He wasn't for sexism.
Yeah.
He literally loved thy neighbor, and he was selfless. And I'm so sick of Christians in this country doing the exact opposite of what Jesus was and proclaiming that. So that was my little tangent that just needed to be said.
No, you're good. You're definitely good. I mean, like I said, like I talked about, like the whole, like the manipulation of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it didn't just happen to Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole idea of colonialization. Or converting people. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's been so woven into popular Christian like culture and ideology that it's just passed down to generation to generation. You know what I'm saying? Like even the things like what's it called? The Great Awakening, right? That happened in, someone should fact check me. I think it was 1730, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, I want to say 1730.
Sure.
Bro, that's
I probably fell asleep during that history class.
I'm done. But no, I want to say it was around 1730, Bro, that's over 50 years before slavery ended. Let that sink in. People are sitting here talking about, they're like, he'll be in church, like they're slaying in the spirit, oh God, take all of me, bless you, man, less of me, more of you. And then they go home and they abuse their slave. They rape the African women. So that they beat to death the African men. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like this ideology of what a lot of people have viewed as Christianity is false. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, go on your tangents, man, because it lights up a fire in me, man. I become passionate. So,
and that's the thing. Like, we can go on tangents and we can call each other out, but at the end of the day, Christianity is love, and we need to love one another. And there's this verse, I have it. Kamari wrote it for us. John 13:34. A new command I give you: love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. And I just feel like Christians in America, only a select few are actually practicing that.
True.
I think we all need to do a better job of loving one another. Even if you're not even Christian. Like, take a step back, humble yourself, listen, and just love one another. No matter how different people are, So do you still think I know that you think you should, but is it hard for you to proclaim your love for people who don't love the Black community back at times? Because I know it is for me. Because sometimes I let my rage and anger get to me, and my faith takes a back seat when I see, people saying racist things, people killing Black people for no reasons and stuff like that. So is it hard for you to see everything going on and be like, oh, wait, I should probably love the police officers who killed George Floyd, though? How do you want to reflect on that?
definitely takes more more out from more from me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's easy to like want to do something nice for someone that you care about, you like, right? But in terms of stuff like that, oh yeah, definitely, I would say it's a lot harder to, a lot harder to.
All right. Well, I think we should lighten up the mood. Now, you were in a choir. Now, are you still in choir, or were you in choir?
I've been in a choir, yeah.
Okay,
Would you
so
ask me
you
to sing
sing.
or something?
You sing though. You know some gospel music.
I know some. What is that? Every praise is due up, right?
Yep. All right, so
when I need to.
a little segment. I want to play a gospel song. I need you to tell me if it's overplayed or if it's underplayed. If you don't know it, just pretend like you know it.
Man, I feel like I'm about to get my black card revoked.
All right, so I hope the listeners can hear this. We're about to school y'all with some black gospel music because
Do it.
Black people know how to do it right. I'll tell you that. Okay. All right.
Tell
You have to know this song though. You have to know this song. Wait. Let's get it.
Book of Revelation, chapter 7, verses 16 and 17. Yes, sir. They shall
Bro, you don't know the song by the first 5 seconds?
Preach up. For God shall wipe away. Yes, sir. Every tear from
Hold
the
on.
eyes. Yes, sir. Get ready.
Come on.
Time for revolution. Hey. Yeah, hey.
There you go. Woo, woo. I just say, you gotta know that one.
Yeah. It took me a second. I was like, hold on. Man, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Give me some time, man. Out here just like, whoo, expecting me to be like that with it, bro. Shoot.
And I must say that song is very relevant right now because time for a revolution.
Yeah. I feel
All right,
that.
Do you think that that song is overplayed or unplayed?
No. It's just right. It's just honestly,
right?
I wouldn't mind hearing a little more. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know it too well.
All right, next song.
Take me to the King.
Yes.
Don't have much to bring. My heart's torn in pieces.
Tell it, yes. It's my offering. Yes.
For the people.
Yes, that's a good one. All right, overplayed or underplayed?
Take me to the King. Don't have much to bring.
Oh, acapella.
My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Oh, man, that song gets me. Song gets me, man. Oh, man. But that song is definitely overplayed, bro. Especially outside, bro. That song's had me weak, man. Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah. Come on now. Yes. Yeah, ready?
Like this song right here.
Yeah.
This is one of the songs that gets you in trouble in praise and worship because this song is already 7 minutes, and they would just keep on going for 30 minutes with this song. They will go every octave. What?
I said drunk.
Huh?
Well, I swear I'm Christian, but I swear I'm Christian.
What did you say?
I called it a booty bumper because the beat is.
I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Now is not the time, David. I know it's Friday night, but damn, we're talking about gospel music.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was saying this song gets you in trouble in praise and worship because they'll just keep on going in octaves and octaves for like 30 minutes.
You're right. That too, man. That too.
So would you say that one is overplayed or underplayed?
Bro, that's a good song. It's a good song. I wish like other songs that are also really, really good got like play as well. But I don't necessarily think that song should be played less. I feel like they should just make more room for like black artists. So, but yeah.
All right, we got two more.
Okay.
All right, this one right here. You don't know this one?
I'm gonna just pass over my black card. Take that.
What'd you say?
So I'm just handing you my black card.
You gave me a Chase pamphlet. What the hell?
Hey man, I got a Chase credit card, bro. The Amazon Prime, man.
That's hilarious.
Doing
That
good.
is that's Melodies from Heaven with by Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
All right. You got okay, last song. You have to know this one though.
Okay.
Let me
Give us some time.
let me get to the chorus. I can't get to the chorus.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Walking by Mary Mary. All right, fine. I guess that's underplayed for yo, but
That's crazy, bro. I always thought, oh, that's crazy. I just realized that Mary Mary is not the same person as Mary J. Blige.
yeah, give me the black card. Give it.
It's a good thing my phone cut out at that point. I got a phone call. I was like, what?
All right, there's like a whole bunch of other songs, but we ain't got time to go through it. But what's your favorite gospel song though?
Favorite gospel song. Well, if I'm being honest, I didn't really grow up listening to gospel music. Like I said, there's definitely some songs that they get down to there. Favorite gospel song. I don't think I have a go-to. One song I do like is what is it? I think it's called like Blessings from Abraham or something like that. Like it's something about your inheritance, because you know you be getting stuff. Sorry.
Blessings.
Hold on.
Let's play it. Blessings by who?
Hold on. I got you. Because you know I believe in, like, you know, speaking things into existence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got you right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage my choir in their farewell concert and recording, the Tri-City Singers.
Yeah.
Put your hands together. Come on, choir. Let's encourage you out there.
Wait, get to the chorus.
Okay.
Cause you know,
It,
gospel music, they be taking forever to get to the point. Oh yeah, I know the song.
yeah.
I know that song.
Yeah, I already got it.
Yep.
Hey!
Here we go.
Oh, I just knocked my foot. I clapped so hard I knocked my foot in my head.
That's the Holy Ghost. You got the Holy
Yeah, there you
Spirit.
go.
You about to be speaking in tongue in a second.
Hey! Oh! let me not just be disrespectful, bro. Let me not be disrespectful. Man.
You're right.
But no, but people be sleeping on like Afro praise music too, though. Like, at least I don't know even to call the genre. I mean, that's the thing, but I don't even know what to call like black Christian music that's not quote unquote. I mean, gospel's a genre. You know what I'm saying? So like, one thing it makes me laugh is when people go like, "Oh, Jonathan McReynolds is my favorite gospel singer." What? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, but yeah, I don't even know what to, because of that. What I was talking about, like how like people think of Christian music as like white people, you know, like God, let's just because Christian, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not all Christian music, you know, it's just a particular genre that we use the same 4 chords every song. We'll talk about that. But okay, the most predictable, bro. Hey, man, bro. I've played in a lot of different churches, like different types of churches, right? Like I said, I love music. But man, like if I'm being honest, more times than not, I don't even like practice the songs. I just be showing up there. I never even heard the song. I just like, I know that progression so well. I'm just like, it's probably gonna be this chord next time. Okay, there you go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no.
Yeah.
But no, what I was saying though, bro, is like Afro, like I guess like African praise music. That stuff be slapping, man. Oof.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You gotta sing us some songs.
I got you.
Got you.
I got you.
All right, so we do have to wrap it up. Any last closing remarks, words of wisdom, prayer you would like to share for the audience?
Well, I would just reiterate that that Christianity is not a white religion, you know, and that I feel like if we want to, because we can sit here and call out all the issues with anything, right? We can, especially what's going on with Europeans and the rest of the planet.
Right.
But just sitting here complaining about stuff is not necessarily productive. Won't really change anything, right? I feel like the only way and the best way really to bring about change is on purpose choosing to focus on healing, right? Healing the relationship, you know, and that's but that comes when you spend time around people, right? Not just like, oh, I watched a black movie today, so I got my check for Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Actually having people of different cultures, right, that you're friends with that are Christian. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really understand what Christianity and what heaven's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? No white section, you know, the German section, no, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have like the basic music and the complex, elaborate music. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I feel like that needs to happen. That really needs to happen, and the only way for it to happen is to create real relationships with people. So just like, you know, what the media says. So
nice. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Awesome. Well, y'all heard it here first, folks. My good friend David Godson. Thank you so much for joining, fam.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. We're gonna have to go down to U of I again so you can cook us some more food because that chicken was good.
I feel that, bro. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Sit it loud for the people in the back, man. Hey, man.
David can cook.
There you go. Hey, I always tell people, what's the difference between... Is my friend Anook still watching? I don't know. Oye, Marina, ¿qué pasa? Sorry, my friend. My friend Anook, I was telling him the difference between African men and Caribbean men. Caribbean men cook.
Ooh. 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 All right, ladies. All right, ladies.
No.
A Christian black man, a Caribbean black man.
There you go. There you go. But double C in that way. A Caribbean Christian man, you know what I'm saying?
All right. All right, David. It was good talking to you, fam.
Likewise.
I'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That was episode 6 of Fam Fridays with my friend David Godson. Mari, I hate you. Why'd you? Mari, I hope that emoji is in reflection to David being single. That's funny. You funny girl. Anyway, so we had a conversation about being black in America and being black and Christian. It is tough times right now, and sometimes people lose faith, and sometimes people use this moment and these tragedies to build their faith. Check this episode out on YouTube. There's a link in the Bible, Lord, see, he's speaking to me. There's a link in the bio to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and check this video out once it's uploaded. We did upload a video segment, a letter to my 14-year-old self. So check that out. Episode 2 of All in the Fam is airing next Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about the awkward stage of adulthood, also known as the quarter life crisis, which I am going through right now. So hope you guys want to hear about that, because a lot of you guys are the same age going through a quarter life crisis. Last thing, those of you who live in the western suburbs, I am organizing a visual. My good friends Liz and Shannon and Katie are helping out as well for Sandra Bland in downtown Naperville on Monday, July 13th at 8:30, downtown Naperville at Centennial Park. It is the hill next to the clock tower. Sandra Bland's family will be there. There will also be some speakers there. So if you guys aren't doing anything Monday on July 13th, please come, wear a mask, and also sign the petition. There will be a link in the bio on my Instagram page and on the FAM's Instagram page, a link in the bio to sign a petition to get a mural of Sandra Bland's, you know, just honoring her life in downtown Naperville. She is from Naperville, it's her hometown, and we need to do better as a community to reflect her life. So that is it for episode 6. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am out. I'm Brianna Cherie. Peace and blessings.